What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we're going to talk about the Pegasus team. You guys have been asking me what are my first impressions on this team, and the first impressions are somewhat decent, but I have some concerns. So in this video we're going to break down my concerns about this team, where I feel that they're going to be great and where I feel that they might struggle a little bit based on how the game works, how the AI works when you're simming the nodes, if you're going to be forced to use this team on manual. And the biggest problems that we have right now with the tech nodes on the incursion raids, and see if the Pegasus team is going to be able to bypass them. So as always, this is going to be in the context of raids. If you want to break down this team on other game modes, we can talk about that in the future, but right now we need to focus on really the value of this team in raids, because we have to gear them up to do our raids daily, right? And as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button like a boss. Okay, so who's an absolute boss is Rescue. Rescue is literally the cheat code of this team, and this is the cop-out of Scopely. They made Rescue in a way so important on this team that if Rescue dies, it's pretty much game over for you. So you might be forced to overinvest on her, which is something that I usually don't recommend, because support characters, they usually push you down rather than push you up. But because she revives and because she has energy mechanics and so on, you really might be forced into over investing on Rescue. So 700 stars, yeah, maybe. The isolate pool level 4, yeah, for sure. In terms of other isolate options, we'll talk about that. Let's focus on the other problems that we have with this team and save the isolate and T-Force discussion for the infographics video. Okay, we have to talk about the raid nodes. The raid nodes right now, we have a problem that we cannot have defense up and we cannot have barrier, which is going to be extremely important. So on any player character stun, clear the defense up from that character, and on any enemy turn, clear the barrier of all player characters. So it's not something that you're going to be able to rely on, and that means that you need to have abilities that apply offense down to the enemies. You need to have crowd control effects like stuns and blinds. You need to have massive turn rewind advantage or speed advantage, and you also need to have secondary mitigation mechanics like deflects. Is that going to be the case? We're going to search for those in their kits, and for this we are going to jump for msf.gg. So let's do that. Here we go. We have Rescue on the screen, and the Rescue is going to bring a lot of health and barriers. So this is something that Rescue did in the past. It's going to give tons and tons of barriers for everyone. The health steal will make sure that even if you don't have immunity, that you can heal up your entire team bypassing heal block, which is great. And then once again we have the biggest cop out on this team is the revive on Rescue. So she's going to revive a Pegasus ally for 60% health, apply offense up, apply immunity, and speed up to the entire team in raids. It's quite massive, clear all negative effects, making sure that immunity stays there. The only thing that is missing here is Safeguard. I'm actually surprised they don't have Safeguard on spawn, but I guess they removed the Safeguard because otherwise it would be too powerful in Cosmic Crucible. But yeah, they really made the ultimate of Rescue like the staple of this team. Okay, so let's move on to the passive. On the passive, we have some interesting mechanics. We have that Rescue is going to get speed bar, 50% speed bar, and energy if any Pegasus ally dies. So even that the AI will use the ultimate first, and it will be because you'll have full energy on spawn. It won't matter because she's going to get so much energy early on. Other thing that we can talk about right away is that the team is going to have a lot of speed bar advantage. So yes, you're going to have 2 turns with Rescue before the enemies have their first turn. It's quite crazy the advantage that this team has in terms of speed bar mechanics. We have additional healing whenever we apply vulnerabilities to the enemies, so this might influence you to use more raiders rather than strikers. It's up to you to decide. We have more health, we have barrier on spawn, and we have defense up on spawn, which unfortunately will only last for a couple of turns. Okay, so as you can see, Rescue is going to be a huge centerpiece of this team because she's going to bring everyone back to life, and with each character that dies, it doesn't matter because she's going to get more energy and more speed bar to recover the time that she lost. Okay, now we have Kestrel. Kestrel is pretty much the same character that we had in the past. She gives more focus and resistance to Pegasus allies, unfortunately not to herself, and her focus is right now the biggest problem with Kestrel. They increase the health and damage by 30%, the armor by 20% or something, and the focus and resistance, they also increase it, but it's not to levels that I would like to see. They want us to rely on these offense ups all the time, to have that 50% extra focus that you get from the offense up, which in my opinion, it's okay, but I don't like when they force me to rely on buffs rather than give base stats to the characters, because that's a big nerf to the characters whenever they are stripped of their buffs. But Kestrel is the same Kestrel that we always knew. She's just doing way more damage than she was doing in the past because of the armor difference and because her base stats. Okay, we're gonna talk about Darkhawk now. Darkhawk, he has offense down on the basic, which is one of the things we are looking for in order to make sure that our team stays alive for longer. Once again, we need crowd control, we need speed bar manipulation, and we need ways of mitigation, whether it is with the flex or with offense downs, to keep our team alive. And he has offense down on the basic. The problem is that we are never going to use the basic with this character, because on his passive you have that whenever a Pegasus character uses their basic, it's going to give energy to the entire team, which is fine, it's great, it's really great because you're going to be able to spam ultimates and so on and revive with the rescue. The problem is that it's just inconsistent. Why are you giving offense down on the basic if the AI will never use the basic, and the players will also not feel motivated to use the basic as well, because it feels like you are missing out more than you would otherwise. So I really don't understand it. Darkhawk, he also has some self-healing that relies on crits of the allies. He's going to give more crit chance to tech allies and Pegasus allies, and more crit damage in raids. Lower the crit chance of enemies' vulnerability. It doesn't matter, it's not important. We need to lower their base damage, not lower their crit chance. So his kit is okay. The main point of Darkhawk is the ultimate is going to give speed bar increase to Pegasus allies and himself, and is going to reduce the speed bar of the enemies. So we have this illusion of power that is coming from having massive amount of speeds, massive amount of speed bars, and on top of that also reducing the speed bar on the enemies, which will be exaggerated on top of that because we have characters like Ironheart. So Ironheart is going to apply slow to all the enemies for 2 turns, which is massive. With all the speed bar we are getting, with all the speed bar we are getting after, plus the speed bar reduction on the enemies, is going to be very, very impactful. And Ironheart is going to be the character that gives energy to the entire team on spawn. So you pretty much have to use the entire team, otherwise you are not going to have this energy on spawn, which is the way the Web Warriors work. It was nice, but it diminishes the theory crafting, right? They promised that we would get more theory crafting in raids. We got that with the Bifrost, but we didn't get that with Invaders or with Rebirth or with the Pegasus team. So it's unfortunate. I like to theory craft on the raids, but it's not going to be the case because of how the way this team works. Ironheart is also going to give us the flex, so we have rescue and we have Ironheart giving the flex. Ironheart seems to be is one of the characters that you want to die all the time, just to make sure that we get speed bar on spawn. So you really want to make sure that Ironheart is your weakest character, so you can revive her as often as possible to get all this speed bar and the flex. We have more armor, we have additional armor in raids, we have lowered the armor of the enemies with vulnerability. That means you'll do a little bit more damage, and that's important because these characters have so much normal damage rather than piercing damage. And that's pretty much it. So does it make sense that you want your Ironheart to die all the time, so you get the speed bar increase and all these other effects? It doesn't feel great, or at least I don't think so. And once again, there is a huge chance of the AI to mess up with these mechanics. Other very important ability with Ironheart is going to be ultimate. She's going to apply stun to multiple targets. She's going to get extra focus for each vulnerability on the enemies, so you know for sure that this ability will be bugged all the way. And she's able to apply stun to 3 targets. Can we just get a one-click button to win, like 3 stuns? That's insane. That's even worse than the US agent with the ability block to 3 targets, but okay. Once again, slow to all enemies for 2 turns. This is just so massive on this team. It's really unbelievable. And then with her special, with all that speed bar, you are also going to be able to apply trauma to your enemies. So this is going to be massive, right? You have 3 characters stunned, we have all the characters with slow, and then on top of that, you're going to put trauma on them so they cannot do anything. Is that enough? Probably not because of the damage output of this team at low stars. Okay, the final character that we have to talk about is Iron Man Infinity War. Iron Man Infinity War is going to be another character that is going to be crucial for this team to work. You need Rescue and Iron Man to be the biggest characters on your team, because they are going to protect each other and they are going to revive each other. He's going to gain taunt, and is going to apply stealth to Rescue if she drops below 50% health. So this is going to be a problem for you for sure. It's going to heal up your team for a little bit, clear disrupt, apply speed up and death proofs. So as you can see, they have all these cheat codes that allows them to be very strong. More damage in raids. We have lowered the resistance of the enemies with vulnerability. That's okay. And then we have additional health in raids for all Pegasus allies. And we also have extra damage for Thor Infinity War. Okay, other big ability with this Iron Man is that he's going to be able to apply blind to all targets with vulnerability. So this is another way of bypassing the fact that the stats of this team is not the best, and that they also do not have lower damage. They don't have a lot of mitigation, they don't have the damage reduction that we would need otherwise. But if the enemy is stunned or if the enemy is blinded, it doesn't really matter how much damage they are going to do to you, right? Because they are going to fail the attacks or not being able to do them. But yeah, this blind, the blind is unavoidable, cannot be blocked, so you're going to be able to blind the Captain Sam on those tech nodes, which is quite problematic. It's also going to have an ability block, rebound chain with bleeds, and it's going to give speed up to the entire team in all of his abilities, so it's going to be quite strong. So now that we review all the characters, which is the problems of the team? The team has a little bit of a problem in terms of the speed of Iron Man and also Darkhawk. It's not like super problematic. The biggest problem I have is actually the health of the characters. They're gonna have around 1.8 million, 1.9 million, but this is maxed out characters. Are you going to max out this team? I'm not sure about it. And for most people, free-to-play people that maybe, or even for me, that I'll buy one offer, I'll get these characters maybe at 4 yellow. Is 4 yellow enough to beat incursions on difficulty 6? I'm not sure. And that's where it relies the problem. It seems like this team requires such a huge investment that at low stars, that we might not get the bang for the bucks that we are paying in terms of gear and in gold, right? It's going to be such a huge investment in terms of gear and gold. We have pretty much 4 new characters to build up, and their stats are very questionable. I would definitely give them more health, 30% more health on top of the 30 they already have, and even the damage, like 120%. I understand that we have offense up all the time and defense down on enemies all the time, but I'm still not sure if it's enough. I'm still not sure if it's enough, because the enemies on those tech nodes are super strong, super healthy. They have massive amount of health because they also have raid bonuses, Kraken America, Iron Fist, and so on. We also have Captain Carter with tons and tons of health. And we also have problems with focus when you are facing the enemy's Silver Surfer or the enemy Hulkbuster on the boss node. So it's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough. I think they should have a better source of offense down. I think they should have some kind of damage reduction. If they don't have offense down, they need damage reduction. And I feel like they should have more health at least, and maybe even a little bit more damage, just to make sure that they work at low stars. I'm very concerned about the low stars of these characters, especially on difficulty 6 where I'm playing right now, because I feel like I'm gonna unlock this team, gear them up, and then they are going to flop, and that's gonna be a PR nightmare. Another PR nightmare for Scopely. But overall, I'm excited about this team. The team seems to be fun to use without that extra speed bar, right? You have so much advantage, and the enemies have literally no advantage. You're going to be able to revive. We can use Kestrel, which was a very important character to unlock Apocalypse, so that investment will not go to waste. But either way, these are pretty much 4 new characters that we have to gear up, and if the team will flop, this is going to be a huge problem for us. We have other teams like Bifrost that they work on difficulty 6 with very low investment, less than 1 million, and they are working fine. And I don't think this will be the case for this team. But you guys let me know in the comments below what you think about the Pegasus team. Are you excited about them, or do you agree with me that their stats look a little bit low and they might be compromised at higher difficulties of the raid? So that's going to be the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, and if you like the information on this video, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I'll catch you guys later.